Welcome back. Joining me is Senator Jeff Sessions, a top Trump foreign policy advisor and possible running mate. Senator, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thank you, Shannon. Good to be with you.
I want to start by getting your reaction to the events of the last several days.
Oh, it's just so horrible and so discouraging and so dispiriting. But we have got great police officers all over the country, almost 1 million. And every day they're out there in dangerous situations. Sometimes they make mistakes. But I'll tell you, there's nothing more needed in this country than to make sure that our poorer neighborhoods, our neighborhoods with minority citizens, have police protection. And they're able to walk on their streets and their children can play outside without fear and danger. So I think in all of this, we need to understand the true value of a police officer and the risks that they undertake.
Every single day. Let's talk politics now. Donald Trump had a meeting with the GOP senators this week. Obviously, you know all about that. You were there. There were some heated moments, I hear. It was pretty tense. Part of the conversation was about some of the controversial comments that he has made over the last year. And following the meeting, there was a statement from the spokesman for Senator Ben Sasse. He said, quote, Mr. Sasse continues to believe that our country is in a bad place. And with these two candidates, this election remains a dumpster fire. Nothing has changed. Now, looking at polling on this, 89% of voters who were asked say they find Mr. Trump hot-headed. 83% say obnoxious. How do you think that meeting went, and how does he change that perception?
I think it went very well. Senators, many of them told me how they thought it went well. There was a little exchange between a couple of the senators, not Senator Sasse. He spoke to Donald Trump. They spoke before the meeting, and Trump said something funny about him, you know, that they had a difference of opinion, and he was a nice guy. But so I thought that was all right, and it was a kind of frank exchange you would look for. I believe he came out of it with another positive spin or feeling. The people, this is the series of meetings he's been having, and I think it's been working for him.
Okay, he has obviously run on the track record.
I'll say this one thing about his frankness and his directness. This is a strong man. He is not a timid wallflower. The American people are seeing a refinement in his messaging, a more substantive messaging. And they see the strength, though, that they know that needs to be shown in Washington to break the cycle that we're on, to turn this economy around, to help poor people get better wages instead of declining wages, which is what we're seeing. And that's going to be what this election is about. Who can fix this economy? Who can put us on the right track? Does it help poor African Americans to bring in more labor than we have and bring down wages as we've been seeing into this country? Does it help them to have bad trade deals so that manufacturing plants are closed and wages aren't there? We have the highest, almost double the unemployment rate among young African Americans that we do among others. So we need to protect this economy, have a strong leader who can break up this logjam in Washington.
And there's certainly so many people who that message resonates with, that very frank talk and those promises on those very hot issues. So it's clearly connecting with a lot of Americans. Not all of them, including Mrs. Clinton. This week she took on Mr. Trump's business record because it's something that he has emphasized in his run for the White House. Here's a bit of what she said in Atlantic City this week.
He makes over-the-top promises and says if people trust him, put their faith in him, he'll deliver for them. He'll make them wildly successful. Then everything falls apart, people get hurt, and Donald gets paid.
How will he respond to that on the campaign trail?
Well, he's been a highly successful businessman, but he's invested in hundreds of businesses, and some of them haven't been successful, but most of them have. Atlantic City sank. The whole city went under, basically. So I think Donald Trump is, no doubt about it, he's a successful businessman. He's traveled the world. He's invested around the world. He's sophisticated in those ways, in a way that Hillary Clinton has no idea of. She does not understand really how jobs are created. She's not created jobs in manufacturing and hotels and things around the world. So I think he clearly has the advantage there.
Okay. Let's do a little VP talk because, of course, you've been on just about every short list out there. There's also an article I read over the weekend that said that you're pushing Mr. Trump to choose a general, somebody in the military that would be greatly respected. The name Lieutenant General Michael Flynn has come up quite a bit. What can you tell us about the Veep stakes?
Well, I have not pushed him to have a general. I've said something nice about General Flynn. He was a Defense Intelligence Commander, 3-star general. He knows the secret world of what's going on around the world militarily. So I'm a high friend of his, and I appreciate what he does, but they'll make their own decision about Vice President.
What about a Vice President Sessions?
That'll be decided by Donald Trump, and he's going to decide it on who he thinks will be a good president, who he can work with, who can help him be a president. I've said that if he asked me to do that, I would consider it and would be honored to be considered.
Okay, some people who don't know your bio or your background may not know that you were a prosecutor for a long time. So I want to ask you about this Hillary Clinton email case and play a little bit of what the FBI Director Jim Comey said about that, summing up testifying before the House this week.
She should have known not to send classified information. As I said, that's the definition of negligent. I think she was extremely careless. I think she was negligent. That I could establish. What we can't establish is that she acted with the necessary criminal intent.
All right, so as a one-time prosecutor, is that the end of it? Is intent necessary? There's been a big debate about that with these particular potential, statutory violations that she's been accused of, at least in the public court of public opinion. Well,
I've not studied the facts, but it does appear to me that she was aware that she should not use this system for classified information, and the director says she was extremely careless. Well, that's very close to criminal intent. And if there's a misdemeanor charge, it requires less intent. They could have brought that, perhaps. They did not use the grand jury, where the witnesses are brought before the grand jury and ask for questions under oath on the record. That can make strengthen a case, too. But really the problem is Hillary Clinton. She's the one that pushed this for her own convenience. And as the director said, this information could well be in the hands of our adversaries right now, because that system was not secure and was easily penetratable, and we have evidence that some of the systems were penetrated.
All right, Senator Sessions, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for coming into Fox News Sunday.